Hi everyone, welcome to another office hours. As a quick introduction to Kaedim, we are an AI startup turning 2D images into 3D models. So today I'll just be going through the app, showing you how to generate a 3D model. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll answer them during the stream as well. So as a quick introduction to the app, I'm just going to go through all of our features. So to create a 3D model, all you have to do is submit an image. All you need is one image, but you can upload up to 6 images as long as they are showing the same object. So you can click our view input requirements here to see the best practices for uploading an image, and this will give you the best results for your 3D model. So currently we only allow single objects, but we are working on being able to generate multiple objects at once. And we also have some input image examples here that you can check out. So it's really helpful to just go through these to make sure that before you generate that you've seen the input requirements. And aside from images, you can also generate an image with our text to 2D here. So I can try and generate an image here. So this is our new create page. We've updated it with a new learning center here at the bottom, which gives you a lot of helpful resources. If you're a new user to Kaedim, you can check out the learning center and find our tutorials and other helpful resources. Sorry, I'm gonna regenerate that. And if you're not sure about which generation quality to choose, you can click compare qualities here. And this is a great visual to see all the differences between the 3 generation qualities. So as you can see here, some of the detail from the fish is omitted with the standard quality. And for Ultra, this is our most detailed generation quality. So if you want your model to be super accurate to your input image, or if your input image has a lot of different accessories or parts, definitely choose Ultra. So you can generate as many images as you need until you're satisfied with it, and then you can go ahead and click generate to generate the 3D model. So I do like this cat, and I'm going to choose standard because it's a pretty basic model. And you can change the poly counts to something lower, like that. And you can also input a height if you need to. So once all that is done, I'm just going to click generate. So once you've generated a model, you'll see this view here, and you can see all of the steps that Kaedim takes before your model is available for downloading. And I can go through some of our other assets here as well. And I can show you some of the features that we have here. So first off, you can compare your 3D model to your input image. It'll just show up on the bottom left. And you can also see the dimensions of your model, as well as the wireframe. And all of the models from Kaedim are default low poly and watertight. This is so that they're optimized for games, 3D printing, and so on. And we have an iteration feature. If you want to make any edits to your model or add on to your model, you can use this feature here, and it costs 1 credit per edit. So for example, if you wanted to change something here, maybe you wanted to add, or maybe you wanted to, let's see, what's a good iteration? If you wanted to remove just this side, for example, you would encircle that and just do something like that. Or you can upload an image of something that you would want to add on to the model and describe the changes. We also have automatic UV unwrapping. This is really helpful for if you want to texture your models outside of Kaedim. This makes it really easy to be able to texture right away. Once you unwrap your model, this creates a new version in the assets card view, and you can download your model in any format, and the UVs will be attached to that model. So we also have a few options for texturing your model. We have the fill color tool. So this colors your model based on each mesh. So you can select a mesh here by clicking on it directly. And you can change the color with this slider. We also have color effects. So you can choose between glossy, mirror, glossy metal, and transparent. And the fill color tool is free, so you can use it however many times you'd like. It's a great tool to be able to prototype a lot of different variations of your designs. And once you import this into another program like Blender, for example, the materials will be attached to your model. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. We also have automatic texturing. So for image projection, it's best to have an orthographic view. And what that means is that your object is facing the camera straight on in your input image. So this is actually a good example of that. There is no perspective in this image. And I can go ahead and use the original input image to texture this model as well. So it will ask you for a front and back view image. If you don't upload a back view, it will create a monochrome color for the back. But since this model is pretty symmetrical, we can just go ahead and use the original input image for both. And you can also go ahead and submit that. And all of the edits that you make on a model will be shown under its history. So you'll have all of the different versions of the model here. So we've actually already done the projection texturing here, so I can show you what it looks like. So what projection texturing does is it basically just pastes the image onto your model. So it's always best to have a straight-on view. As you can see here, it just shows the As you can see here, it just shows the input image directly on the model. And we also have stylized texturing. This textures or colors your model for each mesh. So it takes the dominant color for each part of your input image and applies that to the appropriate mesh. So this is more for cartoon style 3D, not really for more detailed textures. And we do also recommend having an orthographic view for the stylized texturing to get the best results. But we are working to improve our texturing features, so perspective also works for this one. And lastly, we have PBR. This is for more realistic textures. So if you have a model that is more realistic and you want to texture it with a wood, metal, or fabric texture, you can either use the original input image to texture it, or you can upload a tile image of just your texture, and that will be applied to your model. We also have generate LODs, so this is a very useful feature for game devs. Specifically, you can input a target poly count. So for example, if we started with 13K polys, we can take it down to 10,000. And you can create multiple versions, and this will all be generated at once. So you can either input the value or the percentage. So for example, if I say 20%, that will bring the poly count down by 20%. So this is actually a new feature, the percentage So now you can choose between both. And if you change your mind, you can always just click remove LOD here. Lastly, we also have merge meshes. So sometimes or most of the time, the meshes come separately, as you can see here. Let me see if I can get. So if you select a mesh here, it will be highlighted, and you can select all the meshes that you want to be joined together. And this makes it easy to import your models from Kaedim to another program. So now these two parts have been joined. And this is also a useful feature for if you want to quickly color your model so that you don't have to click on each separate mesh. You can also sample from your input image. So here you can just click on a color from your input image, and that will be applied directly to your model. And Kaedim is also able to generate from line drawings, sketches, and photos. If you would like to see our sample models for yourself, you can check out our showcase. You don't have to have an account to see this. Just go to our website at kaedim3d.com and click showcase. And here we have a variety of models for you to take a look at. And you'll be able to view them in 3D as well. So this is a model made in Ultra. And we also have some sample assets in Standard. And this is in Ultra as well. Another new addition we've added just this January was a subscription plan for our add-ons. So you can subscribe to a plan for automatic texturing, UV unwrapping, or LODs for a fixed price every month, and you will have unlimited access to any of the add-ons that you've chosen. And for UV unwrapping and LODs, once you have enabled the add-on, all of these will be, the UV unwrap and the LODs will be applied to all of your generated models automatically. And you can also input set poly counts for each LOD version. And this will also be applied automatically to all of your models. You can also upload your own 3D model to Kaedim, and you'll be able to use any of the features in the 3D Studio on your models, whether or not they were made in Kaedim. Another useful feature that we offer are our plugins. So if you use Omniverse, Unity, Blender, or Unreal Engine, we do offer plugins for these programs. And once you've installed them, you'll be able to load assets from Kaedim onto your scene, all within that program, and you won't have to switch tabs or keep going back and forth. So the plugins are just an easy way to import a bunch of assets or one asset into your project. And for generations, you are able to generate as many assets as you want at once. They will be set to queue, and they don't generate simultaneously. They generate one after the other, but you can put them in queue at the same time. So these are our recommended input images for if you have multiple views of your character. Just make sure that they show the same character and that they're in orthographic view. In our documentation, you can also find a link to apply for free credits and to get a product tour. We also have the activity tab here, which shows you all of the recent activities that or recent edits that you've done to your models, or if you've generated a new model. And while our black cat is generating, I am going to upload another image. Let's see. So once your image is uploaded, you'll see that Kaedim automatically removes the background for your image. So as long as your background isn't too complex, you don't have to worry about editing it beforehand. And I'll just generate that on high. And if you're new to Kaedim and want to learn more before trying it out, you can always go to our website and check out the case studies to see how others have used Kaedim. So we have different use cases here. This is for a game studio. This one's for an animation studio. This one is for an architect, and we've recently released a case study with 3D freelance artists. And we have a lot of videos up on our YouTube channel as well. So please go check those out. We have a web app demo that we update monthly. So we always make sure that that's up to date and that we are able to show you how to use our newest features. And when you first sign up, you will see some sample assets in your account as well. So you'll be able to see these 3 models in your account. And for new users, I think the best sections to read up on our documentation is obviously our input guidelines. We have a quick video here to showcase best practices. And we also have a guide to our levels of quality. So here we're showing you different examples for our different generation qualities. And we also have a section on each of our features. So it looks like our cat is finished. And this was made with the standard generation quality. So you can see that the polygons are pretty simple, and we can check how many polys there are. So there's only 22,000 polys for this model, and we've inputted 25,000. And if you choose to do any edits on your model outside of Kaedim, you can always upload the latest version. So you can upload an FBX file of the newest updates, and a new version will be created here. And we also have a pre-modifiers feature. So this just lets you view and download your asset without modifiers. And this just makes it easy to, if you have a very specific workflow and modifiers are difficult to work with for you, you can always download the pre-modifier version. And I'm gonna color this. And we'll go and import it to Blender to see how it looks. I think the fill color tool is one of my favorite features because you can do so much with it. Uh-oh. And you can experiment with a lot of different color and material combinations. Okay. So we will save this. and we can download as an FBX. Now it looks like our car is also ready. So this is what it looks like. And since this was generated with the high generation quality, you can see that there are more details and it's more accurate to the input image. So we can color this really quick. And let's do red. And then we'll also import this into Blender so I can show you guys. So usually for higher generation qualities as well, the meshes are probably more separated than that of a standard quality. So that's also something to consider. It's easier when you're applying materials to have separate meshes so that you can kind of choose which meshes to join to make it easier for applying materials. So we're almost done coloring. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I think this is ready to save, and then we'll go ahead and download and import that into Blender as well. Okay. So I'll choose this version, download as an FBX. Okay, black cat and car. So I'll just open up Blender. Hopefully it loads fast enough. And as for the different versions, you can also switch through them. So here it is without the color, and you can download that specific version as well. Hello, do you have any questions for us? So this is the car. I'm just going to place that in our scene, and let's see. also import the cat. Is there any way to try it out without paying? So yes, in our documentation page, you will find a link to apply for free credits. And once you've applied, we can walk you through the app and give you a quick demo. And we'll also walk you through generating your own asset. So I highly recommend applying for free credits here if you're interested in trying Kaedim out. So our black cat is here. Okay. I'm gonna place him on the car. And I'm gonna go ahead and join. Uh-oh. Sometimes it's good to join all the meshes before you import it into Blender so that it's easier. But I'm gonna just join them here. Not sure why it's not joining. But yeah, okay, he's on top of the car now. And we can add another light. Yeah, of course. And if you guys have any other questions, please let me know. I would be happy to help. And we also have a playlist of replays of all of our previous live streams. So with these assets that we've created with Kaedim, it's super easy to make a quick scene. And let's see how it looks rendered. So as you can see, all of the materials that we applied in Kaedim are applied when you import as well. Do you have any plugins for linking textures? Currently our plugin only is able to load assets into your scene, or you can generate an asset within the Kaedim plugin. And if you do texture your assets in Kaedim and load them onto your scene, they will come textured. So here is our rendered result. I'm not super familiar with Redshift for C4D, but we can look into that for you, and if you've signed up to apply for free credits, we can also discuss your specific workflows and see how we can help help in your specific 3D production pipeline. So do you mainly use Cinema 4D for your 3D renders? Awesome. Do you use any other programs? And what are you currently working on? Animation studio. Awesome. Yeah, we would definitely love to discuss your specific workflow. We are working with a few animation studios as well, and we've released a case study on our website if you want to check out how they use Kaedim. This is the case study. And we do offer different formats for downloads as well. So this should work for any of the programs that you're using. And all of the models that you import from Kaedim are fully editable. They're just like any other 3D model, so you can change the materials if you'd like it to be darker, for example. Let's try and render this. And do you have any specific questions for any of our features? Do you want to know more about a specific feature? Let's see if we can import more stuff into our Blender scene. So some of these assets are pretty old. We could import another car. How many free credits do you offer for trying the app? So usually we would, once you've signed up for the free credits, we'll kind of discuss your needs and what you're using Kaedim for. And from there, we can generate a sample asset for you of your choosing. Just to showcase how the generations from Kaedim will look like. So it really depends on your use case and what part of the production pipeline you're in. So here's our other car. It takes about 15 minutes to generate a standard model. For high quality or ultra, it might take longer. There are cars. So this was generated in standard, so you can see that the meshes might be more simplified than this one, and these meshes are separate while this one has the body all in one mesh. So this is our finished result. Let me and there it is. All right, I think we're gonna end the stream here. Thank you guys so much for coming to our office hours. We'll be posting the replay for this stream in the live stream replays. You'll find a playlist in our YouTube channel, and we'll also be posting them on social media. And for our next stream, that will be happening next Wednesday at the same time at 11 a.m. PST. So hopefully we'll see you there. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining and asking questions. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye.